I've never run into anybody who doesn't say, do something about this. You've got to do something about this. This is intolerable.
Whenever you hear of someone taking their own life, there's a devastation of, especially if it's someone that you personally knew. You start to blame yourself some. What could I have done? What signs did I miss?
As we know, our rural communities, our farming communities are incredibly tight-knit places. And so the loss of one individual from those communities has an impact not only on their family, but on their church, on the school, on all of those local businesses, and all of the people that call that community home.
One area we're doing a lot more research on is what are the drivers causing the farmer stress that could potentially lead to taking one's life. And when we're looking at that, we're looking at a lot of financial stress.
Farmers do have some kind of unique stressors and unique challenges as it relates to mental health. You talk about volatile markets, you talk about unpredictable weather, you talk about the heavy workloads and the social isolation and the long, hard days at work, that farmers undertake on a daily basis. That all amounts to really high levels of stress.
We're seeing record numbers of farms close, and unfortunately, because we have a mental health shortage and we've had it for a long time, there's no safety net for those folks to seek the right care. If you're a rural health professional and you didn't grow up on a farm and you don't have family that farm, you may not appreciate how much is going on in terms of the flux of the income for that farm family. And so if you see someone for care and you don't ask the question about their mental health, their support structure, where their family's at, moving down the road in terms of potential loss of the farm, you're really missing an opportunity to address a huge financial impact that farmer may be facing.
Sometimes people feel a sense of inadequacy, or they feel a sense of pride that they need to be able to manage any problems in life on their own. They will keep issues to themselves, and they feel like it's perhaps a sign of their own inadequacy or their own weakness, that they feel depression when they're being affected by factors beyond their own control, whether that's a drought, whether that's a drop in crop prices or something.
Stigma is probably the most difficult challenge when it comes to reaching farmers and ranchers. And this goes for both the female farmer and rancher and the male farmer and rancher.
I think we as a community really need to push past that stigma, push past some of the hesitation we have in seeking help, and understand that sometimes we do need help. That's not a personal failure, and we need to have those conversations in our rural communities.
The first thing is just to be willing to be helpful, to be attentive to signs of distress that may exist in someone's life. There's a lot of different signals that indicate someone is under higher elevated levels of stress, and it may affect their physical well-being. They may talk about, a variety of physical challenges they're experiencing, difficulty with insomnia, headaches, tension, physical fatigue, a variety of physical difficulties that are related to stress. And then they may see challenges in terms of the person's engagement socially. Are they continuing to engage in typical social activities in the community? Do they want to go out and participate in social activities, or are they withdrawing themselves? You may see it in communication challenges and relationships where they're more prone to irritability, to anger, to isolating themselves.
As part of the farmer-owned cooperative community, we are the people that are kind of out there in these small towns that these farmers are most likely to be interacting with. And we want to make sure that our people, have the tools and the knowledge, maybe not to be the one providing the help and the counseling, but certainly knowing where to send that person to get that kind of help and counseling that they may need.
There are excellent resources out there, financial experts that help farm families, but oftentimes they're not teaming up with the behavioral health specialists, and there's a lot of innovative ways to try to provide that best support to those farm families that are especially dealing with a transition in terms of moving a farm on to the next generation.
We need to rely on the grassroots that are already out there, and this relationship that a lot of farmers have within their own communities, with their primary care physicians, with friends, neighbors at the coffee shop, with their church, with their ministers. There's a lot of help that is out there.
Cooperative extension exists in every rural community. It's under the umbrella of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. People tend to know their local extension agent, and your local extension agent is a really good starting point to get access to resources and support on dealing with challenges when stress exists in agriculture. Managing your health, managing your stress should be the highest priority in managing your farm or ranch operation, because the quality of your health is what allows you to function on a day-to-day basis as a farmer or rancher, to make decisions, to be able to run your operation.
They can help that farmer get the help that they need to ultimately realize that they're needed in their communities, they're needed on this planet, they're valuable human beings, and suicide should not be an option for them, no matter how distressed they may be.